What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with another Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 Skalgrim Mod ship spotlight. So I wanted to get this episode out yesterday, but unfortunately I had an internet outage overnight, and as I upload my videos overnight, the whole thing got canned, essentially, and I had to start over. You can probably hear my annoyance in my voice because it's really irritating when you have very slow internet in the first place and things take less. Like a single video takes many hours to upload, but anyway, trying to get over it by playing some Battlefleet Gothic. So anyway, this time we're going to be taking a look now at the Tau Protector Fleet as opposed to the Tau Merchant Fleet, who we took a look at last time, and the new ships that the Protector Fleet has. Specifically, we will be starting with the brand new Titan that the Skalgrim Mod gives to the Protector Fleet, and that is the Victorious Ethereal Titan. Now, obviously, we can't go without comparing the Victorious Ethereal to the Star Spear, the Tau Merchant Fleet Titan, as they are fairly similar. They're similar, but a little bit different into which things they lean into, and I'll get into that in a second. So the Victorious Ethereal, it does still have a decent amount of those special weapons, being launch bays and missile launchers, but you will note that it only has the 4 missile launchers as opposed to the 8 of the Star Spear, so it does lean less into the idea of destroying enemies with those missiles. However, on the other hand, it has a lot more of the standard types of weaponry, and this is also in contrast to the Star Spear and its floating railgun concept, where it has one gigantic super weapon and some smaller weapons. This thing instead has a bunch of relatively powerful smaller weapons instead, and I say smaller in quotes because some of these weapons, like the super heavy railgun turrets, still deal 136 damage with 2 attacks every 16 seconds. They're still fairly large weapons with a very solid amount of alpha. They're just not Omega artillery or warp lance or any of that sort of deal type damagers. So yeah, this is generally the way that the Protector Fleet functions. They use a lot more of the various weaponry and less of the launch bays and missile launcher reliance that the Tau Merchant Fleet has. In addition to that, their weapons do generally go for longer ranges. The Nebula missiles, for example, on the Titan, of which it has 12, are at an 18,000 range, which you can increase further with the lock-on, and all the rest of its weaponry are at a mid-range of 13,500, as well as a heavy railgun battery for close combat, or relatively close, because once again, you'll probably want to increase that a little bit. So you can definitely snipe with this thing a lot more with its standard weaponry than you can with the Star Spear, but you will get less mileage out of your launch bays and your missile launchers, and well, I mean, technically the same amount of mileage out of your launch base, but you still want to note the type of ships that you will have as your support fleet, because once again, this is probably not the kind of ship you want to leave alone, and I'll discuss that a little bit more in a second. And the type of support ships that are generally offered by the Protector Fleet as opposed to the Merchant Fleet will offer you less in the amount of launch bays in general, and therefore you will have less sort of critical mass of fighters and stuff, so you may, as I said, get less mileage out of the launch bays of the Titan, even if it is the same amount of launch bays in general, just by virtue of the position it occupies and the type of fleet that is using it. Anyway, before we can discuss the other stuff, let's just take a quick look at it because it's pretty awesome. I can't resist, and I took a look at it in advance. And here we go. I really like the fact that it's got these, Manta-style ship pieces. The Star Spear has it too, but these ones are set up not horizontal but vertical, which makes it look pretty cool. And I think this ship looks really good. Like, it looks like a genuine Tau ship, like, absolutely. I could absolutely see this being a cannon ship, and I really like its appearance. Yeah, and I also like that it's a little bit different by virtue of the fact that these things are vertical, and also in regards to this being a Titan, which a Tau don't really have, this also makes sense to me. Anyway, let's take a brief look at what they look like in the color schemes. So, here we go. There's the dark green, looks pretty decent. The gray, standard sort of look of the Far Side Enclave. The superior one, no bias here, I swear. There's the standard Tau colors that we're all used to from the various artworks, and then there's the white Tau color scheme as well, which does look fairly good as well. Yeah. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. We're going to go with the Farside Enclave this time, since I did resist going with the color scheme with the Merchant Fleet. And obviously all the color schemes are the same for the Merchants and the Protectors, and so are their upgrades and their abilities, which is a little bit lazy on the part of the devs, unfortunately, but maybe they would have changed that up as the game grew a little older. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the stats here. Obviously, we have the front armor that is insanely strong. Despite the cost of the ship, once again, similar to the Star Spear Titan, this is not a ship that you want in close combat at all. Only 6,250 HP at an 823 cost. This is an absolutely massive investment into one ship, and you absolutely need ships to tank for it. For example, the Crude Warsphere shares, once again, the same amount of HP, just like the Star Spear and just like this Titan. So 4 times, you can get more than 4 Crude Warspheres for the same cost as one of these, and each one will have the same amount of HP, if less shields. So yeah, definitely need support ships for this thing, if nothing else, to protect it. I was really vacillating on whether we should be bringing these sort of Tau support ships, or whether we should be using Tau auxiliaries to support it. You can go either way. I mean, the various Tau auxiliaries can be used to tank them front. The Demiurge are very tanky with their insane amounts of armor all over the place and their high HP, and the Kroot even more so with the HP per cost ratio, as well as the cheapness of their fleet, or their Warsphere rather, since it's only one type of ship, with the smaller armor. But this time I decided to bring just a couple of Tau ships, because they sort of lean into the exact same sort of deal that the Titan does, i.e. it's a little bit of missiles and fighters, and a bunch of different weapons. These support ships also have the Nebula missiles, so you're adding more Nebula missiles to the field, and a few more Railguns as well. So I feel like they don't take away from the Titan showcase by virtue of being the same sort of thing. Anyway, back to it. Once again, it does have the 83 front armor, so it does need to stay pointed directly at the enemy, although I will note that it does have a few broadside weaponry. Not a lot, though. A couple heavy railgun battery weapons, probably in case a light cruiser or something gets beside it. You're not going to be dishing out a lot of damage with these things. Most of your stuff is coming in from the Nebula missiles, which are 90 degrees up front. For some reason, this is displaying the crude missile pods as some sort of front weapon, but the crude missile pods are a 360 degree weapon. They should be able to fire in any direction. At least that's how they normally work, unless this is some sort of I think it's some sort of visual bug. We've seen this happen before, and usually we've seen the crude missile pods function. They can always fire in multiple directions. I also want to note that we do have double-barrel super heavy railgun turrets, which can fire in 260 degrees, which is fairly good. And the reason I want to point that out, other than the Nebula missiles, between the super heavy railgun turrets and the crude, I guess they're kind of crude. The crude missile pods. As well, in fact, the railgun battery weapons. This does present a difference to the Star Spear Titan, and that one difference is that of the ability to kite and move. Granted, this thing is still very slow at 140 speed and still has a trash troop efficiency at average, but at least it's average and not poor, so that's a little bit better. But nonetheless, this ship, unlike the other Titan, unlike the Star Spear, can actually move and kite, just by virtue of the fact that it can actually fire its weapons sideways, and you might want to be able to move it a little bit. Once again, you'll have to decide whether it's valuable to do so while you are not presenting your 83 front armor to the enemy, because you got to make every single effective HP point count, as this thing will not stand up to a concentrated barrage. I think one of the most dangerous things, ironically, for one of these vessels, considering its slowness, is an enemy Tau fleet, because an enemy Tau fleet can output so many missiles that a few hits to this thing would absolutely cripple it. Very dangerous. And interestingly enough, I think it would have the exact same sort of weaknesses that the other Tau fleet would have, which is the Necrons and their ability to destroy missile launchers and their ability to destroy a launch base. Although, with the fact that this thing has a lot of weaponry, that might not be as dangerous, as it doesn't lean into the power of the missiles as much. You just got to remember that. Oh, and it'll launch these missiles upward as well. That's pretty damn cool. That's pretty damn cool. So yeah, Necron's very dangerous to the Tau, is what I'm saying, but this one might perform against them a little bit better than the Star Spear would. But probably a little bit worse against fleets where more missile damage at range is required. And generally in the Sniper, fairly different concepts without the single 2,000 damage super weapon. Otherwise, I just want to take a brief look at the other weapons before we launch into a battle. We got, as I said, double barrel super heavy railgun turrets, which can fire in multiple directions due to them being turrets, obviously, which, as I said, allows it to kite and is a fairly nice add-on. We got those tons and tons of nebula missiles that are firing forward, and we got those crude double barrel missile pods, which are all over the place in the various Tau ships, and are still fairly useful, but you gotta note that they do have less accuracy than the, where is it? Oh, here we go, than the Nebula missiles. I just wanted to compare those because they're both missiles. Yeah, so we got efficient versus exceptional. So the Tau missiles are better than the crude missiles, go figure. They're probably a little bit more advanced. And finally, heavy railgun turrets, as I already mentioned, are close combat weapons. We probably will never care about this particular weapon unless we are moving away from an enemy fleet trying to kite. You're in a very probably bad situation if you're, once again, as I mentioned, using these. Anyway, I believe that's everything I have to say about this thing. Everything else is pretty darn standard. The slowness, the armor, alrighty. Let's get back to the fleet and let's try this thing out in a couple battles. Let's go launch and let's see. It'll put us up against the Tau merchant fleet. Interesting. I find that very interesting. You know what? I generally don't like on like battles because I don't find them as fun. But I did just say that an enemy merchant fleet with missiles might be both dangerous to us and dangerous to them. So I'm kind of interested in trying this sort of dynamic. So why the hell not? Why the hell not? Let's go Tau on Tau. I know you guys wanted to see some Tau on Tau action, and who could blame you? I'd Slaneshi giggle, but unfortunately the Tau don't have much of a warp presence, so it's not as fun. Ooh, cool looking map. Alrighty, our Titans showing off. That was a nice shot as well. Alrighty, and ooh, I guess we are going to, Now, I didn't talk much about the upgrades. I picked Multi-Spectrum Probe and Supercharged Void Shield. Now, the Supercharged Void Shield did not work for the enemy, for the Ethereal Titan. However, these Multi-Spectrum Probe did. I just want to try them both again to see if the Supercharged Void Shield still doesn't work, just to know. And otherwise, we could just make use of the Multi-Spectrum Probe. I also got the Multi-Spectrum Sensor upgrade because this fleet I decided to have 3 escorts instead of less, and that is partly because the Targeting Coordinator is pretty much an obligatory pick for any Tau. For any Tau fleet. It's really, really useful, and Tau fleets do tend to lean on getting use out of their escorts a little bit more than other fleets do, especially as it is one of the important things for Tau fleets in general, both Merchant and Protector, to provide that extra identification range, as their ships all have very, very low identification range. Nikasar vessels, I believe, are the only ones that have the increased range at 13,500, and everything else is the standard 9,000. I could be missing a ship, but I hope I'm not. Don't quote me on it, but they're either all or 90% of them have this standard range, including the Titans. So when the Titans with that crazy amount of point investment don't have that sort of thing, you definitely got to provide it for them. And the Tau and the Targeting Coordinator ability does increase accuracy of railguns, so why the hell not? Otherwise, the Multi-Spectrum Probe does increase the identification range of them further, which you can combine with, I believe, the Targeting Coordinator, because it is in identification range, so you can keep them further away. Plus, it keeps enemy targets marked up. Now, considering that enemy targets are marked up, we can use Mont Ka, which is, or the Warfare Mont Ka, which is increasing the critical chance of marked enemies by 75%, which increases the amount of criticals. Might actually be very good against the Necrons versus Kao Yan, and the stealth versus Gas Cloud and the increase of its weaponry by both range and accuracy. These are both, I feel like, really, really useful for the for this particular Titan, as it can really benefit from them both. And now I'm actually kind of thinking, what would we pick here? You know what, maybe we'll do 1 and 1. Maybe we'll do you know what, maybe we'll try against the Necrons in our second battle. Yeah, you know what, I think I like that. Let's go Koyan first, mostly because it was already picked. And then pop you into a Gas Cloud. And then we'll see. We'll see, because that'll definitely benefit the range, and then I think that'll max out the range on all of its front-firing weapons combined with lock-on, so I like that idea. So Kayan this time, just gotta remember to go Montka after. And then after. Alrighty, and Nikasar, you're going to go forward. Everybody else is going to stay here and support our little ships. Oh, look at the little ships being similar. I also like that the Titan is, you know, it shares the sort of form of all these little ships as well. And I guess you can go out here. Now, one of the reasons I wanted this particular Castellan frigate is because it also has some heavy seeker missile barrage. Obviously wouldn't be useful against the Necrons, but hey, what can you do? Alright, the enemy does not have Titans this time, but it does have plenty of... ooh, hello. Lots of carriers and stuff, unfortunately for us. Alright, you're gonna go in here. And you two are gonna go in here.
Gravitic drive engage.
Yeah, gravitic drive engage. It's great. Yeah, ooh, the question is... Yeah, see, the thing is, you don't really want this guy tanking, but since we didn't bring any auxiliary ships, we kind of have to use it for such a purpose, so not really much of a choice there. Alright, you go in here, and then you go in here. Hopefully you guys aren't too close to each other. Everybody else is going to go into lock-on, and hopefully we have enough fighters to see off the enemy fighters, and then launch our heavy missiles as well. So you can go right here. I can't wait to get that exceptional accuracy on all these weapons. Alrighty, and how are we here? There we go. And it is a Titan that can go into stealth. So that is definitely a consideration for playing the Tau against other factions, many of which is Titans cannot stealth, although some obviously can. So that is definitely another bonus for this thing, considering its size and its general fragility. Alright, no, keep moving forward, I guess unfortunately you're going to be tanking for this fleet, although we will send the other ships forward if we need to. Now, you need to move up. I'd love to launch missiles at the enemy, well, boats, but we'll need to give it a few seconds for the enemies to actually get identified. I can't tell if these are Stronghold or Bastion vessels. We do have a lot of missiles, ironically. Ironic because I was talking about how it's a little bit different from the merchant vessels. Here we go. Let's go one set at you, couple sets at you, and I know that these are small vessels, but they're the only ones we can see right now. Really love to launch them at you, but it's not available yet. You know, we can just keep a hold on the rest, at least until the Nikasar vessel identifies more stuff. There we go. Now you, let's see the range on your stuff. So we got 22,500 max on you. Nebula missiles 27,000, but obviously that would go down to 22,500 because there is a max on the range. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that looks beautiful. I love looking at this, watching the ship fire. The different types of missiles look so cool. This ship is fireworks. It's pure fireworks. I love it. And they appear to move at different speeds, which is kind of interesting, but also makes sense for different types of weaponry. And yeah, basically, other than the heavy railgun battery turrets, which are weapons rather, the broadside weapons, which actually do increase to fairly decent range when you are using the Kaoyan warfare. Very interesting, I like that. Alrighty, I've been distracted by a bunch of things now. Let's just launch a bunch of missiles before I get distracted any further, although I am a little bit worried that they'll all get shot down. Maybe we should just recall our fighters and launch them out there as well. Let's go. Oh, in fact, they're being recalled themselves. Alright, fighters, you are all gonna go right here. We're gonna use fighters, not mantas right now. Alright, some of the missiles appear to be hitting, and a lot of the enemy ships appear to be, you know, dying. Oh, no, Nikasar vessel, run, little guy. My bad. Oh, man, now we don't need to mark up the enemy because they're already marked up, and no, I'm just really enjoying all these ships firing. That's pretty damn fun. That is pretty damn fun. Okay, they are launching fighters. Our own fighters are not doing a good job preventing the... Okay, well, they're going for the enemy ship. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. How are the missiles doing? I'm getting some hits in there, but not as many as I'd like. Alright, some of the fighters are hitting each other. Oh, and bombers are heading in against the Nikasar vessel. Now, I just want to point out that the Nikasar vessel has been, detected by the enemy fleet for a while now. And the thing there that I want to point out is the fact that it hasn't died yet, which is important because this is, once again, the merchant fleet, which does not have the kind of range that we do in terms of its weapons, especially as our Titan has right now. So, yeah. Oh, and down goes the Nikasar vessel due to the Manta bombers hitting it. Unsurprising. Alright, I'd love to recall the fighters, but I think they're all going to die. I'd also love to launch another set of missiles, but that's not going to happen until we can launch all 3 sets of fighters. That's probably this bastion. It's a stronghold, not a bastion. Close enough. Close enough. Alright, there we go. Launch them all and follow them up with a lot of missiles in a second. Alright, looks like this little light cruiser or cruiser is going to die, but I want to go this, and then I want to spread these out like so. So that they all don't hit the exact same thing. Ooh, and we've been marked up now. So, oh, but the supercharged void shield does work on you, unlike the Star Spear, interestingly enough. Alright, how are our fighters doing? They do seem to be winning this. Oh, you're gonna move in to protect your bastion. Oh, that's interesting. Huh, but some of them, oh, they moved through it because, oh, okay, wait, that is really interesting. So I think what happened here was because the missiles are launched from the top and bottom, they go sort of under and over smaller ships. Huh, I wanna just take a look at that again to make sure that I'm not confusing what happened there, because what it looked like happened was that it went over the ship because they were occupying sort of different places on the Z-axis there. Or the up or down. Okay, wait. Okay, we definitely have to test that because that was completely unexpected. Do it again. Wait, you have another launch ready, yeah? You do. Okay. I just gotta get your shield back up while I wasn't paying attention. Also, these weapons just look so cool firing. I'm just so happy with them. Come on. Get those shields back up. You haven't actually taken any damage, really, thus far. There you go. Supercharge that void shield, get those back up, and then fire at, let's say, you. And, oh, enemy fighters are coming in. Hopefully they don't shoot down the missiles. Come on, fighters, engage with their fighters. There we go. All right, let's watch the missiles. Yeah, see? It does look like they are going over. I think it'll probably depend on distance. The closer an enemy ship, the more likely they will fly over it. There we go. Decent amounts of hit. Oh, wow, I never noticed how cool the fighters look when they're attacking. Good job, Tau fighters. How are we doing here? Another supercharged void shield almost ready. Ooh, although you have lost a decent amount of weaponry. Oh, you're losing launch bays. You know what? That's not a big deal. Not a big deal, although you are taking damage. Now, I'm kind of tempted to pop you into reload. You're in a pretty good place right now, and you might as well fire more and faster. There we go. Especially since all the enemies are in range. And I don't really want to move up. Ooh, you just suffered a little bit of morale damage. We definitely got to be careful with you. The Tau do like to rout a little bit more. They also don't have that lightning strike. Let's take down this enemy... take down this enemy admiral. Huh. Alright, Manta bombers on the enemy fleet, eh? Do we have any fighters remaining? Let's see, we have one set of fighters remaining. Let's do that, and then let's launch a couple Manta bombers this way, I say. Like so. Our fighters should be able to do a decent job destroying them. Let's leave the bastions to last, in fact. They might actually rout once we've done destroying all the Tau ships. Alright, you really need to rally, I think. Oh, does rally not affect you? Oh, whoops, my bad. I didn't realize that. Oh man, you're really likely to rout, eh? Okay, we gotta be careful with you then. I hope you get to hide again. Let's just destroy all these light cruisers and stuff. Only taking a while to destroy them, but it's okay. Also, the Tau shield looks pretty cool. Alright, you ready, buddy? Down you go to missile spam, and then turn. Let's get some more missile spam going. Number 1 target all these smaller ships, or number 1 and number 2. You can switch directions. Fighters are still doing their things. So you guys all need to turn like this. We are out of missiles already as well. Yeah, definitely taking the damage, but it's kind of pointless to try to kite. I like to actually send these ships forward just to protect our own vessels a little bit. Oh, the borders got through, and interestingly, the enemy AI has... decent amount of borders there as well, but fortunately, once again, poor troop capacity or efficiency means they're not that threatening. Do the same to them. The exact same thing. Get your shield back up. Everybody else just shield this Titan. Yeah, I feel like using this particular warfare to be in the cloud is actually working out reasonably well for us, but I like how this is a fairly even fight, and that does make sense to me, because considering it's Tau on Tau. Nikasar Vessel, I don't really care about you. Ooh, you need to brace, buddy. You do have to maintain lock-on for your, oh, look at those fireworks. For your escorts. That is so cool. Because they do provide that buff when they're in lock-on. Alrighty, keep taking out this stronghold. Target its deck if you can. Number 1 targeted now. And destroy it best you can, please. You, my friend, I think are going to be dead in a second unless we can move you away and hide you before you die. We're a little bit close. So we're damn certain. Try to go over here. Maybe you'll... Oh, damn. It was a nice shot, though. Alrighty, well, let's keep launching our own mantas, although the enemy is starting to run out of stuff. Oh, I actually didn't get the manta upgrade this time around, yeah. I also remember that now. Interesting, everybody keeps losing their decks. You go back into lock-on. You're still... it's just the launch bays that are critted, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Alright, as soon as this stronghold is done for... That's a lot of HP on these strongholds. Plus, we have to remember that these guys have a lot of armor, and this is why it's so tough to bring them down, because we are primarily using macro weapons here. Let's see, the Nebula missiles, double barrel super heavy gun railgun turrets, crude double barrel missiles. Yeah, so that armor is doing a lot of work reducing the enemy, reducing the damage, so... Definitely got to keep that in mind. Alright, our fighters are doing a good job keeping the enemy carriers off our backs, though. What a fun fight. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this in a like-on-like Tau versus Tau fight, but I'm very happy with it, and I didn't realize that you guys didn't turn your way. But you have turrets, so it doesn't really matter which way you face, to be perfectly honest. And there we go. You can see how quickly these guys fall compared to the bastions out here, although the accuracy is also not helping. Man, I'm almost enjoying the missile spam, like the effects of all the various missiles. Well, I guess that's it's not just missiles there, but it looks similar enough. I'm almost enjoying this as much as I enjoy the Necron Yajrazatha firing with all of its Yajrazatha focus lenses, i.e. zap cannon like weaponry. All right, kill this thing. Kill this thing. Number 1 target, target those engines. Target your deck will make you our number 1/2 target. There we go. Your engines should hopefully die, although you have our prow facing forward. You're just gonna explode anyway. And, ooh, do we need to launch another set of fighters? Yeah, we do. These troop ships might make it. But I do believe we have this one in the bag. Alright, nice, nice. You know what? Move out. Move out. This battle is over, and yeah, these ships will probably die, but we'll at least destroy the other ships. I just want to board it a little bit. And you know what? Might as well let the enemy have some fun and switch everybody. But now switch you and you to wait, you're not on reload? You're not on anything because your deck is broken. Alright, just board this guy. I do want to also remember that this Titan does have the ability to increase the 1 additional troop damage for each assault action due to the planned strike ability, so there we go. There we go. You guys destroy this, and board this thing. There we go. Looks pretty cool. I do want to make sure that you can fire all your weapons, though. So, there we go. Move forward. Oh, look at those launch bays all being critted out. You, my friend, are just about dying, and there we go, the Nebula missiles get launched, and this close, at least, they're unlikely to miss. You are not going to disengage. Interestingly, the AI seems to be going for our escorts, but it ain't gonna be good enough. Fior, oh, Fior. I read that as floor. The mighty floor. Who would dare stand against the floor? I gotta remember to name a ship Floor now, in the Tau campaign. Alrighty, so there's your battle. Once again, took quite a while, but I'm going to do one more. I fear that these guys won't be able to win against the Necrons. I mean, considering how difficult the merchant fleet was there, the Necrons would probably be a little bit too mighty for us, but nonetheless, I want to give it a shot. Against the Necrons, same fleet. Do we want to do same upgrades? Do we want to give us at least a little... Oh, they also penetrate shields, which really doesn't help. I'm just trying to figure out, ooh, I'm almost tempted to go for gravity wave projector, but the multi-spectrum probe was helpful, but the Necrons will want to move into close combat. We do have to remember that. Huh. But the gravity wave projector... Otherwise, I think, yeah, we really don't need the Vanguard Void Battle, so we're just going to keep the multi-spectrum sensor and combine the effects there. Applies to flagship when boarding action, target automatically suffers a fire, board, or destroy defense sword. Once again, pretty much useless against the Necrons. Oh, and while we're here, I just want to quickly point out that unlike the Star Spear, because this ship can do a little bit more movement and a little bit more, well, not quite kiting, but at least a little bit more movement when engaging the enemy than the Star Spear likes to do, because of its ability to broadside and the fact that it has a lot of turrets, you can actually get a lot more value out of upgrades like strobe field and mission dissipator and stuff on this thing, which you would get like nothing out of for the other faction. You know what? I think we'll have to go a little bit differently. We'll go Stasis Bomb against the Necrons, give ourselves a little bit more of a fighting chance instead of the Gravity Wave Projector. Definitely going to keep a Supercharged Void Shield regardless of the fact that they've got shield penetration. And otherwise, I think we're really tempted to take this, but I honestly don't think it'll be all that useful against the Necrons compared to, like, the Tyranids or something like that. So let's go. One more time. Oh, and it's fate. It's fate. It automatically put us up against the Necrons. Launch. Unless I selected the Necrons earlier and it just kept the setting. Maybe it did, but I'm still gonna call it fate. You hear that, Tzeentch? Or you don't hear that because, once again, Tau have very little war presence. All right, here we go. Looking very cool once again. And probably your toughest matchup. I mean, the Tyranids would also be incredibly tough for this sort of fleet, but at least we get value out of our missiles there. Now, obviously, we're going to go Mont Ka this time.
The killing blow brings the enemy's end.
I didn't realize that that talked so loud when I did that. We are once again going to have to hide here. I do believe that the Tau vessels do really need to make use of the gas clouds and asteroid fields and that sort of stuff. Niksar vessel, once again, you're going to go forward. I'd love to fight on the field, but certainly not against the Necrons. If it was the Imperials, I'd probably move out. Alrighty, now I think, contrary to the other time, we might want to move these vessels a little bit closer after we're identified. In fact, we're going to move out after we're identified, so just move up a little bit forward. Just got to be able to make sure that we can still launch our missiles, just in case we're actually able to bait the enemy stuff. Alright, everybody into lock-on, ready up. Mont Ka instead of Koyan this time. And you can indeed use your stasis bomb, so we got to make sure that we get some mileage out of that. Alrighty. You guys, auto-engage, everybody frontal firing mode. And just set up the auto-engage. Turn towards there, very slightly. Niksar vessel, go out there. Identify the enemy. And, oh, it looks like they don't have a lot of fighters, eh? Alright, here's what I want to do. I want to do two things. One, I want you to go into stealth now. Fighters are going back. Then I want you to launch a set of fighters out there. I want to wait a few seconds and launch another set of fighters, and then try to bombard the enemy fleet with a ton of missiles. It probably won't work, but you never know. And then next set, go. Oh, are you still moving towards us? Huh. Okay. Oh, you guys are gonna get shot down by the Necron fighters, ain't ya? Ain't ya? No, they want to avoid each other. Interestingly enough. Hey, get away! Get away! Get away from the Niksar vessel. It doesn't like you. It doesn't even have engines. Why won't you leave it alone? Alright, there we go. Alright, now, ooh, wait. If these guys are still following the Niksar vessel... no, they're sort of just sitting out here. Oh, they're gonna go for our missiles, aren't they? Oh, well. Oh, well. Alright, then what we want to do is launch missiles one by one. Bait out those Star Pulse waves. Come on. Fighters are trying to find the enemy. And yeah, because we don't have that probe, we do have to rely on either our fighters or our escorts to find stuff. And here we go. It is a Cairn Annihilator, the main enemy ship. So, one by one, I want you guys to do this. Ooh, launching missiles. One. And then wait a few seconds, then do the exact thing. Same thing. Oh, for the love of... Damn you, fighters. Can you guys kill those fighters, please? Damn. Trying to ruin my plan here. Alright, you do it. And then you do it in a couple seconds. These ships might also jump forward just to take out those things. Nika Star Vessel, please identify what we've got going on here so that the ships can actually fire on the enemy. You launch more missiles. And then all three of you launch missiles right after. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, what can you do? Oh, they're launching more fighters to shoot those down. Okay, no. We're gonna hold on to our own fighters until those are dead. Doing reasonably decent damage against the smaller Necron ships, so that's not surprising. It's the Cairn Annihilator that's gonna be scary, and we got a set which does have an Annihilator beam, which can, or Particle Whip Artillery rather, which can penetrate our shields. Ooh, you are not revivable from where we currently sit. Okay, fine. Let them keep firing on it. Ooh, move forward here, but die. Alrighty, Necrons, we definitely want to stop these guys right there. Oh, it's going to stop right in front of it? Damn, nice job, AI, nice job. Wasn't expecting that, but I probably should have been. Alright, you are dead, buddy, you are dead. Well done, AI. Made it a complete waste of that missile pod. And you keep firing on these guys, and there is that Particle Whip Artillery, but not doing a crazy amount of damage. Everybody face this other ship now. Alright, now, they are not launching any more fighters. You're not in range anymore, are you? Okay, you know what, I think we can... Actually, we probably don't want to move forward yet. They see where we are, and the reason I think we don't want to move forward is because we want to wait until the second stasis bomb is up. So instead what we'll do, launch fighters again, and then I want you launching missiles out this way. What are you? You're not a Sechem, are you? No, you're a Shroud, so you don't have the ability to Star Pulse Wave, so that's fine. And then launch missiles. Again now. And then you two. Launch missile destroyer squadrons, please. Ooh, or fighters. You know what? Launch fighters. Launch fighters. You launch missiles. And then the rest of you are going to launch missiles all at the same time. And then hopefully this works. Come on. You gotta do it before this thing gets here and Star Pulse waves them all. Alright, you are in a fairly decently bad way. Nice. I'm actually surprised at how well we're doing against the Necrons here. Tyranids, I guess, would be even tougher. But we do have a reasonably advantageous position, though. There's the Star Pulse Wave. It destroyed some of our missiles, but not all of them. And now, I think we can Star Pulse Wave you while you sit there, destroy you, and then take out the Cairn Annihilator last. You are going to want to repair. Gotta be careful with your... Oh, you did still have another Star Pulse Wave. Guess I didn't use it. But now, we can recover squadrons. Oh, I think you guys just screwed yourselves. Because now we have bombers that are available at close distance. Target those engines if you can. Bombers, go. And don't launch any more missiles. You're okay. I don't think you need to. We can save them for the last ship. Bombers should be able to take care of you. You are going to take some damage, but that's okay. Bombers did the damage there. And in a display of lovely fireworks, destroyed by fireworks and exploding in fireworks. Nice. Everybody else, I want you to transfer troop ships over. Or troop ships, transfer troops over. Question. How can Tau transfer troops via lightning strike when they don't have a lightning strike? Because it looks like the same sort of thing, right? But they don't have the teleportation tech. And I'm only moving forward just to give the AI a chance here now. Let's launch some fighters. Let us launch some more fighters in a second. Wait for it, and then launch all of our missiles. And yeah, move forward, everybody, move forward. You are going to switch to reload, and then you two are both going to switch to reload. Let them destroy our ships. I want to see if we can win this. Target that engine. Let's see how dangerous this thing is going to be. And since it's staying away where it can't use its lightning arc turrets, I want to move into where it can use them. It's already penetrating enough shields. Let's use that stasis bomb, though, and let's power up with a bunch of missiles. Watch its Star Pulse Wave come back up the most inopportune moment, like right now. Alright, everybody else, stay here, stay here. Don't move close enough to where it can board you at the very... there it is. There it is, but it didn't get the missiles. It only got the other stuff. Very, very nice. And it's right on the edge of the... There we go, that really worked. And, ooh, execute and destruction. You are very close, buddy. You're very close. Supercharge your Void Shield, I think you need to repair. Everybody else, keep launching everything you can. Very, very dangerous, clearly. It's at about 60% HP, but we're past half. But while it's trapped like this... While it's trapped, we maybe have a slight advantage. And actually not a very slight advantage. Bombers, keep launching bombers. You don't need to identify, you can just repair. And here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Board this thing. You can still fire some of your weaponry, unless you're close combat weaponry. And stop, and then turn. High energy turn, best you can. There you go. This Titan still does have the high energy turn. Launch some more missiles. You're very, very close to being killed, but so are they. And we still have our smaller ships as well. You guys can keep on destroying this thing, and you're trying to disengage with that. Won't work. Missiles coming in, and more missiles coming in. It's missile on missile on missile with this thing. Ooh, but it routed at the last second. A very nice fight. Obviously, we could have destroyed this thing from a gas cloud or from the asteroids, but I just wanted to bring our ships into a dangerous situation just to sort of test it out. And yeah, I just realized that this thing not only has so many missiles, i.e. fireworks, coming in from its regular weapons, but it also, once again, does have those missile pods, so it's even more missiles. I mean, I'm all about those missiles. Actually, I wanted to build a Chaos fleet that has basically nothing but missile weapons just for the fun of it, and now I'm just realizing that the Tau might allow me to, make that dream a reality, so I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, that's it for this particular Titan. It's a pretty neat ship, but once again, you want to protect it. It would be more effective outside of those gas clouds and stuff, although the various warfares do sort of pigeonhole you into doing that, plus the addition of the fact that your ships, when you're playing the Tau, are very fragile. But speaking of that fragility, you will perform a little bit better if you are bringing your auxiliaries like you're meant to actually tank for your fleet. As I've said multiple times, these fleets are not, or these ships are not meant to tank whatsoever. That's what the auxiliaries exist for. And the only reason, once again, that I haven't brought them was just to show off the Titans by themselves and not have to accidentally sort of steal the spotlight by virtue of the auxiliaries, because the Demiurge vessels, for example, are very, very strong, and if well placed, can be far more devastating than you might want to give them credit for, just by virtue of how slow they look. Anyway, once again, that's it for this episode. Next time we will be continuing with the Tau Protector fleet and their other new ships, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this spotlight. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.